Hello everyone, and welcome to Wisdom and Wealth. Do you ever glance in the mirror and find yourself wondering where all the years have gone? Do you, at times, grapple with the feeling that with age, you've not only lost your youth, but also some of your ability to truly love yourself? If so, you're certainly not alone. Many folks, especially as they journey through the later stages of life, find themselves feeling weighed down, perhaps burdened by regrets, or by constantly comparing themselves to others, or maybe just by a quiet sense of diminishing worth. But here's a profound truth, whispered gently through the timeless wisdom of the Buddha. Old age is not the closing chapter on love. No, it can be the opening act to a deeper, far more compassionate form of love than you might have ever previously known. As your hair gradually turns silver and your body naturally begins to slow down, the world actually invites you to gently turn inward, to discover the precious treasure of loving kindness that has always resided deep within you. If you're enjoying this content so far, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. This teaching isn't about foolishly pretending that you're younger than you are. It's not about desperately clinging to what has already gracefully passed. Instead, it's about wholeheartedly opening your heart to the inherent beauty of impermanence, to the profound tenderness of self-acceptance, and to the quiet, unshakable strength of compassion. In this video, we'll be thoroughly exploring 6 actionable steps, all deeply rooted in timeless Buddhist wisdom. Our aim is to provide you with practical tools that resonate with your life experience, offering solace and encouragement as you navigate this phase of life. We believe that age is not a barrier to growth, understanding, and above all, loving oneself. By the very end of this transformative journey, you'll come to fully understand how to embrace the natural process of aging, not as a devastating loss, but as a truly sacred teacher. You'll also discover how to effectively release the crippling grip of self-criticism, honor your remarkable resilience, courageously transform feelings of loneliness, and awaken to the profound truth that you, in this very moment, are already inherently worthy of unconditional love. And if you remain with me until the very end of this video, there's also a very special bonus reflection, an extra teaching that may help you to see your so-called flaws in a completely fresh and radiant light. So, stay with us to discover the key to a fulfilling and self-compassionate life. Please like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel. First, let's consider impermanence as a profound teacher. The Buddha's very first teachings were all deeply rooted in the truth of impermanence, the understanding that all things inevitably arise, naturally change, and eventually pass away. This is not a punishment, but rather the natural rhythm of life itself. Youth inevitably fades, physical strength gradually wanes, and faces begin to wrinkle. But these changes are really no different from the sun gracefully setting in the evening sky, or the vibrant, colorful leaves gently falling from the trees in the autumn season. When we are young, the concept of impermanence often feels quite distant and abstract. We may mistakenly imagine that old age is something that only belongs to someone else. But as the years gently pass, the body often begins to whisper soft reminders. The knees might ache a little, memories may slow down a bit, and we slowly begin to realize that impermanence is not just a distant teaching found in a book, it's actually a close companion that walks with us every single day. Many people, unfortunately, deeply resist this fundamental truth. They cling desperately to what once was, fiercely fighting against the natural process. We might try to combat gray hairs with dyes, and cover wrinkles with creams, desperately chasing the fleeting illusion of eternal youth. But no amount of struggle can truly halt the inevitable flow of time. The more we resist, the more we inadvertently suffer. The Buddha, however, invites us to look at impermanence from a completely different perspective, not as some cruel enemy, but as a patient and loving teacher of love. Because everything inherently changes, we learn to truly cherish what is here right now, in this very moment. Because the body is ultimately fragile, we learn to care for it ever so tenderly. Because life is inherently short, we learn to release old grudges and live with ever-increasing compassion. To truly love yourself in old age is to gracefully bow to impermanence with elegance and grace. Instead of constantly saying, "I am so much less than I used to be," you can consciously choose to say, "I am a vital part of life's great unfolding, and this very moment is no less precious than any other. Self-love truly begins when you allow impermanence to soften your heart, rather than hardening it with resistance and denial. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel. Second, let's explore the importance of letting go of the mirror self. Most of us, without even realizing it, tend to build our sense of self-worth around our reflection in the mirror. We identify with our smooth skin, our strong muscles, and our bright, sparkling eyes. But as time naturally passes, the mirror inevitably changes. Suddenly, the reflection we once so greatly admired seems unfamiliar, and even quite unwelcome. This attachment to our outer appearance is often one of the greatest sources of suffering in our later years. The Buddha taught that the physical body is not truly the self. It's much like a borrowed garment, useful and beautiful at times, but never truly ours to keep indefinitely. When you intentionally stop clinging to this fleeting, mirror self, you begin to see far more clearly. Wrinkles are not flaws or imperfections, they are the beautiful calligraphy of a life that has been fully lived. Each fine line tells a powerful story of laughter, tears, endurance, and boundless love. The body's many changes are not signs of a devastating loss, but rather gentle reminders that you have walked a long and incredibly meaningful path. Let's consider this for a moment. If your true value were only rooted in your physical appearance, then every single person would gradually lose their worth as they aged. But we all know that this simply isn't the truth. What we tend to love most in people, their inherent kindness, their profound wisdom, their remarkable patience, often significantly deepens with age and experience. So why should it be fundamentally different for you to love yourself in your own old age? It's time to consciously practice shifting your gaze. When you next look in the mirror, instead of immediately asking, "How do I look?" try asking yourself, "How deeply have I truly lived? How much compassion have I genuinely shared? How much invaluable wisdom have I steadily gained?" In actively doing so, you deliberately step beyond the narrow, confining prison of the mirror self and discover a much deeper love, one that is firmly rooted in something eternal, the radiant beauty of your very being. Third, let's discuss developing compassion for the entirety of your journey. Please pause for a moment and thoughtfully think of all that you have bravely endured in this lifetime. The various illnesses you've bravely recovered from, the deep heartbreaks that once seemed utterly unbearable, but eventually softened into profound wisdom. Think of the countless nights you lovingly stayed awake, worrying for your dear loved ones. Think of all the various disappointments you courageously faced, the inevitable mistakes you made along the way, and the remarkable courage it took to rise again each and every time. The important thing is that you are still here. You are still breathing. And that, in and of itself, is truly extraordinary. The Buddha often spoke of the critical importance of cultivating compassion, not only towards others, but also towards oneself. Yet, many people, as they age, unfortunately carry the opposite of compassion. They carry harsh and unwavering judgment. They often look back on their lives and mistakenly think, "Should have done so much more. I should have been somehow different. I am simply not enough." But what if you intentionally turn towards yourself with the exact same kindness that you would readily offer to a dear friend? If your very best friend had bravely walked through the same storms as you certainly wouldn't criticize them. Instead, you would gently take their hand and say, "You have been through so very much. I deeply honor your incredible strength." This is the powerful practice of cultivating compassion for your unique journey. It's about sincerely acknowledging your scars, not as devastating failures, but as undeniable evidence of your remarkable resilience. Every single struggle has shaped you into the unique being you are right now. Every fall has taught you humility. And every loss has carefully carved space in your heart for an even deeper and more profound love. The Buddhist path does not ask us to be perpetually perfect. Instead, it asks us to be genuinely awake, to see clearly the whole of our journey, both the shadows and the radiant light. If you're learning something new, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. When you intentionally look back with compassion instead of regret, self-love will naturally begin to beautifully bloom. So, tonight, when you are all alone, gently place your hand softly on your heart, and whisper to yourself, I have lived. I have learned. I have endured. I am worthy of love. This wonderfully simple act plants a vital seed of compassion that can beautifully blossom at absolutely any age. Next, we'll cover how the practice of gentle speech can help. Words are inherently powerful. They have the potential to either heal or wound. They can either soothe or harden. The Buddha taught that right speech is one of the critical steps on the noble path. Not only in how we consciously speak to others, but also in how we quietly speak to ourselves in our inner dialogue. Consciously notice the specific words you habitually use in your inner dialogue. Many older people, without fully realizing it, often repeat harsh and critical phrases, such as, I am just too old, I am utterly useless, or, my best days are long behind me. These damaging words often sink deep into the heart, fundamentally shaping how you see yourself. Over time, they create a painful prison of negativity. But what if you intentionally replaced these harmful phrases with gentle and nurturing speech? What if, instead of constantly saying, I am just too old, you instead said, I am seasoned with wisdom? Instead of saying, my body is so weak, you instead said, my body has carried me through so much, and I honor it. Instead of declaring, my best days are over, you instead said, this very moment is a precious gift, and I consciously choose to cherish it. Gentle speech is not about vehemently denying reality, and it's certainly not about foolishly pretending that you're young again. It's about deliberately choosing words that lovingly nurture your soul instead of fueling despair. Just as a plant grows stronger and healthier when watered with the utmost care, your own heart will grow lighter when consistently nourished with kind and compassionate words. You can consciously practice this gently, on a daily basis. Each morning, before you rise, speak one gentle and nurturing sentence to yourself, such as, may I be at ease. May I be kind to myself today. Each evening, just before you drift off to sleep, gently remind yourself, I am enough, just as I am. Over time, these life-affirming words will become natural. They'll effectively dissolve old habits of self-criticism and thoughtfully replace them with genuine self-love. Remember, the way you habitually speak to yourself is the way you actively shape your inner world. So speak gently, and your heart will positively respond with a deep sense of peace. You can make sure you never miss out by liking or subscribing to the Buddhist Doctrine channel. Now, let's discuss embracing solitude as a true friend. For many, the later years of life naturally bring more solitude. Children mature, grow up, and inevitably leave the family home. Close friends might move away, or sadly pass on. The previously busy routines of work gracefully fade into quieter, more peaceful days. At first, this dramatic change can feel like a heavy weight, a constant reminder of loss. Loneliness can gradually creep in, whispering that you are forgotten, that you are no longer needed. But Buddhism teaches us that solitude and loneliness are not one and the same. Loneliness is often the unpleasant feeling of being incomplete, as if something profoundly essential is missing. Solitude, on the other hand, is the gentle recognition that in this very moment, you are already wholly and completely whole. The Buddha himself spent long periods in quiet solitude. He sat thoughtfully beneath trees, walked alone in forests, and meditated in silence. He discovered that in solitude, we can clearly hear the deepest truths of our own heart. To truly love yourself in your own old age, you must actively begin to transform feelings of loneliness into positive companionship with yourself. Instead of desperately filling the silence with various distractions, try simply sitting quietly with your natural breath. Gently feel the air enter and then leave your body. Notice how each and every breath carries you effortlessly, moment after precious moment. In this genuine stillness, you consciously meet the true companion who has always been with you, your own inherent awareness. Solitude can actually become a skilled teacher. It lovingly shows you that you don't need constant validation from the outside world in order to feel genuinely complete. You gradually begin to see that your true worth is not measured by how many people surround you, but by the very depth of your presence in this current moment. Several practical steps can greatly help you in this process. Deliberately dedicate time each day to simply be with yourself, not out of any sense of obligation, but rather as a loving act of profound self-care. Light a candle, sit quietly, and simply breathe. Or walk slowly in nature, thoughtfully noticing the trees, the sky, and the earth beneath your feet. Instead of constantly thinking, "I am all alone," try deliberately thinking, "I am in the conscious company of life itself." When solitude consciously becomes your true friend, you'll no longer fear the empty room. You'll ultimately discover that you are never truly alone, because pure awareness, your gentle breath, and the great unfolding of life are always here with you. This quiet friendship with yourself is one of the deepest and most fulfilling forms of genuine self-love. Finally, let's consider seeing yourself as an integral part of all beings. There's a profound teaching in Buddhism that no self truly exists in utter isolation. We are all interconnected parts of a vast web of life. To clearly see this is to purposefully move beyond narrow self-concern and into a boundless love that ultimately includes all beings. Think about it. Your very breath is generously given by the trees, which transform sunlight into the precious oxygen that sustains you. Your food is lovingly grown by the earth, nurtured by the gentle rain and the careful hands of farmers. Every single part of your life is intricately woven together with countless others. You are never genuinely separate. You are the universe actively expressing itself as you. When you somehow forget this fundamental truth, it's all too easy to fall into self-criticism. You may mistakenly think, "I am small. I am unimportant. My life simply doesn't matter." But when you consciously remember interconnection, you begin to see that your very existence is a priceless gift to the whole. Your smile might unexpectedly lift the heart of a stranger. Your genuine patience might lovingly soothe a distraught child. Your quiet wisdom might greatly guide someone younger. So, loving yourself in your own old age, then, is not selfish, it's an act of profound harmony. When you consciously soften towards yourself, you will naturally soften towards others. Compassion radiates naturally outward. By deliberately caring for your own tender heart, you actively contribute to the collective healing of the world. You can purposefully practice this heightened awareness through loving-kindness meditation. Sit quietly and gently repeat, "May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I be at ease." Then, intentionally extend it outward, "May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be at ease." Notice how the arbitrary boundary between self and others begins to dissolve. In this purposeful practice, self-love is no longer about clinging to some individual identity. It's about truly recognizing that you are an integral part of the great ocean of life. A single wave may rise and fall, but it's never truly separate from the sea. In the very same way, your life gracefully flows within the whole. When you purposefully embrace this expansive view, aging takes on a completely new and meaningful dimension. Your physical body may gradually weaken, and your remaining days may be fewer, but your very being is never genuinely separate from life itself. You are a significant part of something vast and timeless. To truly love yourself, then, is to reverently honor the entire universe that is exquisitely reflected within you. Subscribe to walk this path together and share this teaching so others may find comfort. Finally, there's the concept of kintsugi for the soul, why your flaws make you beautiful. In Japan, there is an ancient and revered art form called kintsugi. When a bowl or cup breaks, it is not thrown away. Instead, it is carefully repaired with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The cracks are not intentionally hidden, rather, they are carefully illuminated. The breakage becomes an integral part of the object's story, and the vessel becomes even more beautiful precisely because of its unique flaws. This art form is a powerful and potent image for the human soul, especially as we inevitably grow older. Many people mistakenly look back at their lives and see only the cracks, mistakes, regrets, failures, and disappointments. They mistakenly think, "I am broken. I am so much less than I once was. But Buddhism invites us to consciously see things differently. Just like kintsugi, your cracks are definitely not signs of utter worthlessness. They are the very places where your deepest wisdom and genuine compassion shine through with the greatest clarity. Thoughtfully think of those times when life humbled you, the heartbreaks that made you softer and more understanding towards others, the illness that taught you to appreciate the simple joys in life, and the crushing losses that ultimately showed you the profound depths of love. These painful cracks, though undoubtedly painful, are also wonderful openings. Through them, healing light gratefully enters. The Buddha himself never promised a life utterly free of suffering. In fact, his very first teaching was that suffering is an unavoidable part of human existence. But he also lovingly showed us that suffering can be transformed. Just as gold purposefully fills the cracks of broken pottery, true compassion purposefully fills the inevitable cracks in the human heart. Each and every time you consciously choose kindness after having experienced profound pain, each and every time you choose to intentionally forgive instead of bitterly harden, you are actively practicing the beautiful art of kintsugi for your soul. Loving yourself in old age, then, doesn't mean foolishly pretending that you are somehow unbroken. It certainly doesn't mean vehemently denying the scars of your journey. Rather, it means consciously seeing your inherent imperfections as an integral part of your sacred design. Without them, you wouldn't be the remarkable person you are today. Without them, your wisdom wouldn't shine so brilliantly. Let's consider this simple reflection. A young tree, smooth and unmarked, may be beautiful, but it is the old tree, with its twisted trunk and weathered bark, that offers the deepest shade and the greatest shelter. Its countless knots and scars are definitely not flaws, they are profound signs of incredible endurance, undeniable signs of a life that has been fully lived. You, too, purposefully carry the unique marks of time. And like the wise, old tree, these marks are not blemishes, they are your inherent beauty. A few practical steps can greatly help you embody this powerful truth. When a memory of regret gently arises, instead of forcefully pushing it away, whisper gently, "This, too, is a part of my gold." When you gently notice the unavoidable marks of aging on your body, instead of sadly mourning them, intentionally say, "These are the sacred rivers that lovingly carry the inspiring story of my life." In purposefully doing so, you are consciously shifting from ingrained rejection to a deeply felt reverence. One day, you may even thoughtfully look back and see that the very things you once mistakenly thought made you weak are the very things that ultimately made you compassionate. The people who inadvertently hurt you lovingly taught you the importance of always practicing kindness. The times you understandably failed taught you invaluable humility and unwavering patience. The physical body that slowed down significantly taught you to greatly savor each and every step. What you once regrettably called flaws are actually the sacred golden lines of kintsugi, purposefully tracing the beautiful story of your precious soul. So, as you gracefully walk in the autumn of life, do not hide your cracks, and please, never apologize for them. Instead, purposefully hold them up to the light, just as the Japanese craftsmen thoughtfully do, and lovingly let them truly shine. Your beauty is never found in being somehow unbroken, rather, your beauty is found in the inspiring way you have been skillfully pieced back together with love, with unwavering resilience, and with genuine compassion. Remember, self-love in old age is never about achieving some impossible ideal of utter perfection, it's about fully embracing wholeness. And wholeness comes not from desperately hiding your well-earned scars, but from reverently honoring them. Just like the sacred golden veins of kintsugi, your flaws are the very places where your extraordinary soul glows the absolute brightest. So, how do you learn to love yourself, even in your own old age? You begin by intentionally seeing impermanence, not as some cruel enemy, but as a patient and skilled teacher. You gracefully let go of the limiting, mirror self, and reverently honor the deep beauty that lies far beyond your fleeting physical appearances. You purposefully offer heartfelt compassion for the unique journey you have bravely walked, thoughtfully replacing judgment with genuine tenderness. You consciously practice gentle speech, tenderly watering your precious heart with words of unwavering kindness. You purposefully embrace quiet solitude, skillfully turning it into positive companionship with yourself. And finally, you truly see that you are never truly separate, you are an integral part of all beings, part of the great ocean of life itself. Like kintsugi, your life's many fractures are purposefully filled with radiant golden light, thoughtfully turning what was once broken into something radiant, unique, and gloriously whole. The Buddha lovingly reminds us that true love is boundless. It's never limited by fleeting youth, superficial beauty, or the relentless passage of time. In fact, it often gracefully ripens in the later years, when we are finally ready to gracefully release our illusions and purposefully embrace the unvarnished truth. If these comforting words have brought you peace, please thoughtfully let them ripple gently outward. We encourage you to like and subscribe to the Wisdom and Wealth channel. May your days be consistently gentle, and may your precious heart be always steady in genuine compassion.